Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Thank God it's Friday. The Nyamia Sise and the feeder. I had a very interesting dream yesterday. You know, I was going to say I was asleep. Of course, you can't dream unless you are asleep. So I was asleep and I had a dream. And actually, the dream was about the second coming of Christ. Give it up, man. It was the second coming of Christ, you see, and you know how the media is now, you know, actually all the media men were there, you know, covering the second coming of Christ. But I remember this particular reporter from the BBC, white woman, very excited, you know, and the clouds had become dark and red, and there were thunderstorms, you know, and then all of a sudden the sky broke open, and there Jesus Christ was coming down. And yeah, amen. Give it up, man. Get up. And Jesus was coming down. Everybody was looking up, and it was so amazing. And this white woman reporter was going, oh my God, Jesus Christ is actually coming down. Oh God. And she was like really freaking out, you know. So she told the BBC cameraman, come on, cameraman, take a close-up of Christ. Take a close-up. So the cameraman is taking a close-up, and then all of a sudden the woman said, oh my God. He's black. Hey, she was in shock, man. Seriously, man, can you imagine if second coming, the man comes and he's a brother, man? He can say, yo, man, yo. You know, I'm in town, man. I'm a brother. Yeah. The people who will be most upset if Jesus Christ is black, trust me, will be Africans. Oh, Africans will be upset, man. Because we want our Jesus white. We want him blonde hair and blue eyes, so that when we get the vision, we can say we saw him in his blue hair and eye. Jesus will say, yo, man, I'm a brother. I'm back, man. Give it up. We have a great show today. We have a really great show today. You know the man Black Rasta, I'm on fire. He's in the house. Give it up. I'm on fire. Give it up. Also, this young guy, 29-year-old guy, Cape Coast University, Cape Coast Polytechnic graduate, HND in engineering or something. He has written a book that is saying that Jesus is black. He's in the house. ESSUMAN is in the house. Yes. Thank you. Well, I told you today is going to be quite exciting. You know, the whole thing was started with I'm on fire. And from I'm on fire, we are going to land on another interesting heat. Now, my next guest is a young man, young man. I don't know his age. I'll find out from him very, very soon. But he's a product of a Montessori school and Infantipim. He's actually an HND in mechanical engineering graduate from Cape Coast Polytechnic. And he has written a book, and I want to pick his brains on this book a little bit, among other things. The book is called The Resurrection of the Heat. Give it up. The title alone is hot. The Resurrection of the Heat, casting down falsehoods. And among some of the things in the book, it says 10 proofs that Jesus is black. Let the church say amen. Amen. Yo. Well, let me keep quiet now. Introduce my guest. He is in the person of ESSUMAN-MENSAH. Ernest, welcome to Accra. You're based in Cape Coast, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming here just to be on TGIF.
Also, thank you.
My pleasure. Let me go straight to the resurrection of the heat, man. Casting down falsehoods. You think one of the falsehoods is that Jesus is a white man?
Sure, you know. When we were growing up in school, we were growing up in church, in the houses, we were introduced to white Jesus pictures in church, everywhere, yes. Yeah. So we grew up to imbibe that, and that's what we thought. We all knew that Jesus was a white man. So you remember that when we were young, they told us that when you were going to church and you meet a white man, you can get back home because you've met God. So these were some of the things that were said. But recent scholarship by black scholars came to unearth that it was not really true. In fact, this white Jesus issue was not even an issue. Just recently, the Europeans tried to parade white.
So who's the white Jesus that we see? The blonde-eyed Jesus with the long blonde hair. Who is he? Is it a figment of our imagination?
According to the scholars, when Michelangelo was commissioned to draw, he drew his uncle's son as Jesus, his uncle as Joseph, and his uncle's wife as Mary. So that is what you got. So that is a small European family that's been presented to the whole world. That's Jesus.
So Jesus was actually, the painting came from Michelangelo.
Oh, yeah.
And that was his son?
Oh, no, his uncle's son. So he drew.
Where is this information that people can go and check to find out?
Oh, it's not something that is hidden. In fact, the church knows about that. The history of the church, we know about that. Dr. Sir Higgins, Geoffrey Higgins, he was a British Orientalist in the 1830s. He wrote about Jesus being black and went to the Catholic Church in Europe, many churches, and documented all the reasons and the evidence that Jesus was really a person of color, a black man. He was never white. So even Europeans, way back centuries, hundreds of years, 500 years ago, they knew that Jesus was a black man. But then when racism was taking over the world, and they wanted to come to, they wanted to come to...
What does scholarship say? That Jesus was not Caucasian, or that he was actually Negroid? Because when he says a black man, then we're talking about a Negroid black man.
Yes, that is it.
Or we can say he was not a Caucasian, which means he was not a white, blue-eyed person, but maybe Middle Eastern, that. But you are saying...
there was something that you're making that Middle Eastern, there isn't anything like Middle East. Middle East is not a geographical location. It is a geopolitical location given by Europeans to that place. That place was not Eastern Africa. It was an extension of Africa. And in those days, the Arabs had not taken over. It was black people from Ethiopia, Egypt, and Canaan. They were all the same people. When you go to the Bible, in Genesis 10, it gives you the countdown of all the black folks. That is from Ham, Libya.
Ham was a brother? Ham was a brother?
No. Ham, he was the father.
No. I mean, brother means he was a black man?
Oh, yeah, he was a brother.
Ham was a brother?
Yeah, he was a brother. So, from him came all these people. And you realize that the Jews got into Egypt. The Bible said that there were 70 people. And 70 people got into Egypt for about 200 years. Intermarried with the Egyptians for 200 years plus. And when they were coming out, there were 600,000 soldiers. Now think about it. If 70 people get into a place, coming out there are 600,000, not the whole population, but only soldiers are 600,000. If Ghana has 600,000 soldiers, then it should give you an idea of the population of the people. And Reverend Parkisi, a lecturer at the Southern Ghana Bible Institute of the Assemblies of God, says that with his own calculation, he thinks that the people that were living in the Exodus were running into almost 6 million. So you look at 70 people, Semitic people. Semitic is like between black and white. And they go into a black African country. And they go to intermarry with them for 230 years. And they come out in that large number. You can tell me they're white folks. No white folk can come out of that. And so, but the problem has also been that, now people don't know that Egyptians were even black. Because we're looking at those people who were there and we're saying, no, they are not black. But these are not the indigenous Egyptians, as we know.
The indigenous Egyptians were?
They were black.
Were brothers?
Sure. Herodotus, he was a European historian. He went and he said ancient Egyptians were black people with woolly hair. That was his description of ancient Egyptians. And so, when you talk about the Egyptians in the Bible, a lot of people do not see that it's talking about African people. We read the Bible and we take it to some different Semitic people. These are Arabs who took over North Africa during the Islamic invasion of North Africa, that they took over. And blacks had to run for their lives. But indigenous people are Africans, like you and me. In fact, I don't want to tell you that if you are an Akan, you might be an ancient Egyptian. Our names show it. Some people, we have people who are called Amwabin. What is Amwabin? Ammon and Aben. Ammon was the sun god Ra in ancient Egypt. Aben is the god of Tuesday. So you put that together, Aben, Aten. Aten was a series in ancient Egypt. Nu was a stagnant ocean in Egyptian creation myth. That was the god of the water. All our names show you. Taka, Mamiriku Taka, you got that in Cape Coast. You have Sasa. Sa was an Egyptian goddess. So much.
But there's also the argument that Africans have such an idea of a feel-good history that we stretch things. We really try to reach out and make, like you were just talking about, Amon being Ammon, the sun god, and being the Tuesday, making it up. Aren't we like really stretching just to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand you, but you know, nobody can go forward without first knowing where you're coming from.
Yeah,
you see, most of us.
Because I know there's also the argument that even the Japanese have an African history.
Sure.
And the car, the vehicle Tacoma, you know Tacoma.
Yeah.
It comes from the Anansi fable. Anansi's child called Intikuma.
Yeah, I also heard that Tenchitano comes from Techitano.
Exactly. Yeah. So any word you pick, you can find some language there to link up.
No, but no, this is African. That is not it. These are not pockets of examples. Now, when you take only the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Papyrus of Ani, that was a single document. And out of that document, you can get about 30 to 40 or even 50 Akan names, only in that small document. It tells you a lot. And our language shows it that we are ancient Egyptians. Now, we talk about Area. We was similar to the Ra, that is the sun god. And so we say Area, the sun. The same like that.
What are the examples?
And Raba. So there is like a child of Ra Neba. So you know?
Yeah.
In fact, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. You're an ancient major. You majored, you're a mechanical engineer at Cape Coast University. And I've heard you speaking on African other issues. Yeah. Where is this passion to write about the resurrection and this history redeeming our lost African? Where is that coming from? We have just 2 minutes.
Yes, when I was in secondary school, I was writing poems, and I was writing about African poems. But when I got out into the Polytechnic, when I was about to finish, I was with a panifist, and I'm still with a panifist. I'm doing the media work with panifist. So, like going out and talking to people, I realized that my people didn't know a lot of things. Things I thought had to be common to everybody. You ask them that people don't know. Everything people don't know. Then I was so much burdened that I had to really come out and educate my people. But how
much studying did you do to make you qualified to educate other people?
In fact, you've read a lot. Yes, I had read long. I didn't read for the book. I read for myself. I mean, because I was always.
What are some of the great books you've read that have helped you in your thinking?
Recently I read the Africans who wrote the Bible. I've read a lot. I can. It's a lot. A lot of Jewish books, a lot of biblical books. I studied the Bible a lot. I'm a church boy, so I studied the Bible a lot. It's a lot. You can't just pick out just a few things.
Okay.
Yes, but when the Hebrew and Greek Bibles, all of that. Yes, I've studied so much, so much. Yes.
So you have just a natural, what do you call it?
To write.
Yeah, to write acquiring knowledge.
No, when I was on campus, I've always been writing. I was writing like campus issues, SRC issues. Okay. You did that, that kind of.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
29. Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, the boy is 29. You know something? I'll be coming out with my follow-up book.
Coming out.
Yes, in Panifest. Panifest is starting on the 29th of July to 24th of July to the 1st of August. And my book is Resurrecting Africa's True Past. That is where I'm going to unveil I'm going to give exposition as to our real African identity as Akans and Gans. Let me give you something. Homowo?
We have just 1 minute.
Homowo is like the Passover of the Jews. It's exactly where God told them that they should slaughter the cattle or whatever and smear so that the angel of death will pass over.
That's the same thing with Homowo?
Yeah, with Homowo. We have some Jewish trade, and it's a nice blend. Okay. We moved from Egypt.
Okay, we have to end it here. Yeah, because I see you're getting more fire. But I'm just interested in, 29-year-old young man who has certain beliefs and it's aggressively pursuing that knowledge, reading, and taking a stand, taking a position, whether it's right or wrong, that's a whole other issue. But I just admire that you are bold enough to do that. And in the coming weeks, we'll be talking to some other authors anyway. We'll be talking to Aisha Harunata, who has also written a fascinating book, and a good friend of mine who has written a book on the concept of education. All young people. All are young people. So there's something happening. There's a pursuit of scholarship from young people, and we're going to be hanging out with them in the next coming weeks. But Ernest, thank you very much. And when your second book comes, let us be the first to know, huh? All right. I'm on fire. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Sometimes when you least expect it, life presents you with an opportunity.